I'm working on a little Dometic heater for an RV today, and I took this out of the toy hauler that it was in as a enclosed snowmobile trailer because it would fire up and then immediately shut off. There's a couple things that can cause that, of course. And one of the first things I found when I was investigating this was it had one of the propane tanks. These are not the propane tanks that were on that thing, but they had it hooked up to two propane tanks just like this. And one of the tanks was not working correctly and not letting gas get into the system. But even at that, it would still do the same thing. After I fixed that little issue, it would fire up and then immediately shut off. So there's a number of different things that can cause that. This electronic board can cause that. There's some heat sensors in the burn box back there that can cause it. The actual control can cause it. The igniter can cause it. And sometimes there's a heat sensor back there with the igniter that can cause that. Generally, if it fires up, it's not the reset switch. That's not always accurate. There's a switch right here in the squirrel cage that was all had a bunch of lint and stuff built up on it, and if it doesn't detect the squirrel cage running, it can shut it off. I did clean that switch out already, just a matter of taking two screws loose and cleaning it. And in the combustion chamber back there, I may take the controller out and the heat sensor and clean all those, because sometimes they can get sooted up and not act correctly. This particular guy had a local company service this not too long ago, and it was quite apparent that they didn't service this unit. They didn't take it out, take it apart, and clean it and service it properly. That company will remain anonymous, of course, but I don't do this kind of stuff for a living. I just happen to know a little bit about it. So today first thing I'm going to do is fire it up. So we got a couple battery wires here, 12 volt. These are the thermostat wires here. Temporarily I'm going to tie those together, hook it up to a battery, and then fire it up and see what happens. This is not a how-to video. This is just what I'm doing to test this. There. I'm just working on this for a friend of mine. Alright, so we have the reset switch there. Shut it off. The wind comes up and it's biting cold. It's only 20 degrees out here to begin with. Alright, let's see what we've got here. Propane is on. Alright, let's see if it fires up. sensor there's one of the culprits that can cause that problem. Big old bumblebee in there. I'm not seeing anything really wrong with that, although that igniter can go bad. And of course, like I said, the control can go bad. So on this switch, normally closed means that we have continuity. I don't know if you can hear it on that thing, but it's beeping at me. Let's try it again. Yeah, that seems to be working fine. So that's back down to two things: the igniter, the main control. Actually, three things, because it could be the motherboard too. So the problem turned out to be the igniter. I didn't replace it, I just cleaned it. The electrodes were coated, and that was preventing them from firing reliably. Cleaned those probes off and put it back together, and it fired up and ran like it's supposed to. Reinstalled it in the toy hauler, and it's good to go.